Hi there, I'm Tristan Reyes, and this is Gaming Instincts. Sea of Thieves recently released a Seabound Soul update, which includes some new features, new treasure, and a new tall tale. New features. The new firebombs can be found throughout the world, through barrels and other container items. It turns out that some pirates have created a new weapon and are letting other players use it for their own amusement. Firebombs are exactly what they sound like. Little grenade bottles filled with a fiery explosive, which can turn an area or a whole galleon on fire. For battles at sea, these bottles can be launched through the ship's cannons in order to set a ship aflame from afar. If a player finds their ship on fire, don't worry, there's a new feature found in the lower deck of the ship, which will allow players to grab water without jumping out of the ship. New Voyages. Stitcher Jim is in the taverns now, instead of the Duke, and he'll give players new voyages that may lead to Ashen Keys and chests. Of course, these voyages may also lead to Ashen Guardians, which will appear on the islands to stop the player from getting the treasure. Additionally, Ashen Guardians may appear in sea battles, which are marked by the orange ship cloud. Players can sell these keys and chests for doubloons, but if a player were to use a key on the chest, they can grab an Ashen Tome of Curses, which will allow players to get an accommodation. Also, if players find all 5 tomes, they can receive a special Ashen weapon. The Seabound Soul Tall Tale. The newest tall tale has a player's aid along deceased legendary pirate, Sir Arthur Pendragon. After the previous tall tale, Revenge of the Morningstar, players fought the Morningstar crew and stopped the skeleton Lord Greymarrow from trapping future souls. In this tale, the player is able to free at least a few more souls with the help of Sir Arthur Pendragon, who has some tricks up his sleeve after being trapped for many years. Before starting, players need to know some of the prerequisites to complete the Seabound Soul and unlock all of the new cosmetics. First are journals spread throughout the islands that players will journey through to get one of the commendations for Seabound Soul. Like journals in the other tall tales, they must only be collected once to get the commendation. Here are the islands on which the journals are located from order from first to last. First one is located on Shipwreck Bay, near where the first tall tale begins. Next is located on Shiver Retreat, on top of a barrel near the water in the middle of the island. Third is in Liar's Backbone, right behind the big dead tree. The fourth one is on Scorched Pass, on a rock east of the island. And number 5 is in Flintlock Peninsula, north going around the volcano. Next, there is also a commendation that requires the crew to collect 3 Ashen artifacts the Ashen Dragon stowed away during the Pendragon's crew. These artifacts aren't difficult to find. Be sure to use the quest lantern to find out the exact location to dig on the island. Players will know that they found the artifact once they find a vision of a digging skeleton. Additionally, the islands can be visited in any order, but it's recommended to make sure to grab both the artifacts and journals, as the tall tale will take players on a wild goose chase. The 3 main islands, which have the artifacts from west to east, are Tri-Rock Isle, Cinder Islet, and Cursewater Shores. The best way to take these journals and artifacts is to mark all the islands on the map after the tall tale starts. That way, players can simply go to the marked islands as they follow the ghost crew so they don't have to detour afterwards. The tale. Before starting, the players must find Pendragon himself. First, players must find the Black Wyke on Shipwreck Bay. Once inside the captain's quarters on the ship, select the tall tale and witness Pendragon explain that he needs to set free the souls of his comrades being chased by the Ashen Dragon crew. First is to find Martha Jane. Pendragon gives a player a special lantern and some of Pendragon's notes in order to find the lost souls he wishes to free. The first soul is Captain Martha Jane. Based on the notes, the player knows that the captain went down with her ship, so they must find where this event occurred. This is easy since the ghosts of her ship and the Ashen Dragon are still around to follow east of Shipwreck Bay. The players and their crew must follow apparitions of the ship, which will take them to where Martha Jane's skull is. The ships will disappear when approached, but will reappear ahead of the player as they move to the island where the battle ended. This could be any of the islands east of Shipwreck Bay, so just keep following the ships until they stop. When the ships do stop, the player should find a sunken ghost ship nearby. This is Martha Jane's ship. Use Pendragon's lantern in order to see the rest of the vessel, as well as Martha Jane's spirit, which players can follow to find her skull at the bottom of the ocean floor. It's hard to miss since it's the only glowing item there. Take Martha's skull to the nearby island shore, where Pendragon will be waiting. Give Martha's remains to the lake captain, and watch as he uses Sword of Souls to set her free and hear Martha's last memories. Next is to find Randall's stone. Martha will leave the player with more notes to follow from Pendragon's book. A look at these will offer information regarding how to find the next lost soul, Captain Randall's stone. The last page tells players exactly where to go, as it will point to this island with a picture of said island. The islands seem to be either Kraken's Fall, depicted with a large set of bones, or Fetcher's Rest, depicted by a volcano. Either way, players will have to travel to the island in order to discover where the ghost crew went next. Once approaching Kraken's Fall, or Fetcher's Rest, the ghost ship should appear in the distance, and players should follow once more to the place where Randall met his end. Once they have traveled far enough, the Ashen Dragon can be seen near another sunken ghost ship. Players don't need to look inside the ship as Stone fled to the nearby island. Use the lantern again in order to find out where he died through ghostly images. Near the end, players will see through a vision that he was killed by a skeleton. Dig right where the scene happened, and the player will find the skull of Randall Stone. Arthur Pendragon will appear again and will help set Randall Stone free. After this happens, more notes will be added with what Randall Stone recalls. The last page points to a recognizable island, which looks almost exactly like it does on the ship's default map, so players should have no problem figuring out where to go next. Find the last skull, go to the island marked in the notes, and another ghost ship will be seen from afar. One last time, the player needs to follow the ship, this time back to Flintlock Peninsula. Before heading to the peninsula, however, make sure to grab any missed journals or artifacts that the crew might have missed during the tall tale. In addition, players shouldn't do the final step until they grab the last journal entry on Flintlock Peninsula. If the tall tale is completed before looking at the journal, it will disappear and won't return until the player starts the tale again. The ship should lead players to Flintlock Peninsula, where it will be parked. Dock nearby and use a lantern once more to follow a group of ghostly skeletons taking someone to their tomb. Follow the visions until reaching an unopenable tomb. Sir Arthur Pendragon will appear and promptly open the door. Inside lies the final skull that Pendragon must save. After grabbing the skull, a predictable ambush occurs near the entrance and a mini-boss appears, along with some ashen skeletons. They're easily enough dispatched with a few sword swings. After dealing with the ambush, hand the final skull to Sir Arthur Pendragon and face the consequences, as the skull belongs to the notorious Captain Flameheart. After his speech is finished, players will be done with a tall tale. Now after beating the mission, players will receive Sir Arthur Pendragon's Sword of Souls. It's a pretty unique looking sword, and hopefully, if you complete all the commendations, you'll be able to unlock all the other cosmetics through the tavern. This has been Gaming Instincts, and I'll see you soon. If you enjoyed the video, leave us a like, subscribe if you want, and make sure to check out our website over at gaminginstincts.com for more gaming content from an unbiased perspective.